a very good evening blues on this very wintry night. Everton versus Brentford. Yeah, okay. Show over. No, I really wish. Okay, so with us tonight, we've got a full team. Carl, how are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
Okay, excellent. And Marco, over in Michigan, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm actually in Florida right now. Doing all right, considering the result.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so fully loaded team, got both the boys back. And just a quick shout out as always to Chris Darricott in the blue corner over on YouTube, our mate and a big fan of the show. Go and check him out. Okay, so let's get this shit show on the road, as David Moyes probably said the other day. 4-2-3-1. Jordan Pickford in goal. O'Brien right back. Tarkowski and Keane in the centre. Keane coming back from injury. And Mikalenko left back. In the middle, Timmy Irabunum and Jimmy Garner. And then we had Dibbling, McNeil and Jackie Grealish all backing up Thierry Barry. So, as I say, Keane come back in from injury and McNeil was in the middle behind Barry. A decision I don't understand, but David Moyes has paid more money than I am to make those calls. Okay, so the first half, I thought we started okay. We had a decent first 10 minutes. Tarkowski and McNeil having early chances. Wouldn't you know it? 11 minutes, Brentford opened the scoring. Tarkowski played a fucking horrible pass out. The ball gets picked up by Janelt. He just crosses the ball into the 6-yard area. There is Thiago, he just slides in, puts the ball past Pickford. 1-0 Brentford. To be fair, it was against the runner play in my opinion, but Brentford then settled down, get into the game after the goal. On the half-hour mark, Mikalenko crosses the ball into Barry. He puts a header straight to the keeper. Should really have done better. You all know how much I love the kid. A little bit of drama in injury time. A massive save from Jordan Pickford to keep the score at 1-0. Jensen plays Thiago in and Pickford just stood tall and made the save. And then we had a big chance to equalise. Jackie G crosses the ball. Barry dives for the ball. Big save from the keeper. Should really have been 1-1. The whistle goes, much to most of our relief, I suspect. Everton have been on the ropes most of the first half. Decent first 10 minutes. Absolute shite after that. We could have been 3 or 4 down. Half time, Everton 0, Brentford 1. Carl, give me your thoughts.
Actually, it's still made from the start. I haven't got a fucking clue what Moyes was thinking of changing that fucking team and putting O'Brien back at right back. But yeah, everybody knows to his dog that he's fucking not a right back. He knows he's not a right back. He can't get forward. And it showed why he didn't just put Patterson in there, keep him in there from the last game that we played against Wolves. That's his position, so he can get up and he can help. Tyler Dibbling was just like, he was lost and rightfully taken off at half time. But I don't think it was down to him because he's not getting no backup from the fullbacks. And that's where we seriously need to invest ASAP, is in 1 or 2 fullbacks to get up and down the pitch. Mikalenko doesn't get up and down the pitch like he needs to. Jake O'Brien, as I've just said, is the centre back and not a right back. So what the fuck he's doing? Changing the team, bringing Michael Keane in, who clearly wasn't fit. I mean, the last time he did it was against Newcastle, and he clearly wasn't fit. I mean, that forward in then as well. So when I seen the team sheet, I was fucking fuming then that it wasn't just kept the same. I mean, I know he might not like Patterson, he might want to get rid of him, and he might end up leaving in the January window and whatnot, but the fact that that's his position, you play your players in the position from the start, don't you? You don't fucking stick. No, I mean, if it after 60 minutes he thinks, Moyes thinks, he's not doing very well, or he's knackered, or whatever, then bring Keane on and stick him at O'Brien at right back then, with like 60, 70 minutes gone. Not from the start of the game. So for me, Moyes just got it wrong. And as you say, first 10 minutes wasn't so bad start. And we had a couple of hard chances. Tarkowski and, as you say, McNeil, again, he was another one. I don't know why they just didn't bring Grealish in, take him out, and leave the rest of the team as it was, because it didn't need changing. Roll could have played in the number 10 or whatever. Far better than McNeil. And he doesn't give you anything, maybe the odd chance with his left foot, but I don't think that's as great watching him as people have said. Yeah, you might get the odd decent crossing or like against Forest. I mean, Garner pointed to it where he wanted the ball to be passed him when he scored the goal against Forest. And that from McNeil's pass there, but after 10 minutes, as you say, they scored after about 11 from Thiago. And from then on, it was one-way traffic. We had a couple of half chances, as you say. Thierry Barry had the header and a couple of chances in the second half. And I suppose when he brought better on in the second half, I'll go into that a bit later, but we seemed to get a little bit better, but absolutely crap. And if he doesn't go back to a decent team for tomorrow, I'm dreading tomorrow, Wednesday against Wolves, because that is a must-win game. I mean, we could have gone 5th or 6th with a win, and we ended up getting smashed 4-2. So, disappointed.
Yeah, I feel your pain, brother. I'm sure all the listeners do as well. Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, it was disappointing to say the least. You guys know my role here is a little bit different. I'm always traveling, looking for new Evertonian groups, trying to grow the fanship here in my country, and I've been traveling, and I met up with the Tampa Toffees yesterday, and we watched the match down at a bar in central Tampa called McDinton's, and I got to tell you, these guys are probably the best group yet. Pretty good showing. I think we had about 10 people there. Upbeat crowd, super duper friendly. Like all the other places that we go to in the States to watch the matches, it's a mixed bar, right? This is where everybody goes to watch the footy matches. And there's other bars, but this one seems to be the most popular. But I was really impressed with the welcoming of the Tampa Toffees for those of us who were traveling, and super nice group. They put together group trips to come over and watch the matches. So I'm hoping to do that with them in the next couple of years. So shout out to them. But on to the match. For me, it seems if there's a recurring theme that you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. We got a very thin bench, but despite that, we're not giving minutes to younger guys, newer guys, when we should, in order to fill these gaps, as long as AFCON is going on and as long as we have these injuries. So, like, I'm kind of feeling like instead of putting on a wounded Michael Keane or maybe a Tarkovsky who looked like he wasn't feeling great because he played like shit, maybe Asnu should have got some time. But I don't know. Going into it, I thought we would do a whole lot better than we would against than Brentford would. Excuse me. But upon looking at the table, Brentford's actually sitting in 5th or 6th spot now. So they're not a bad club. They're punching above their weight. They're punching way above their weight, and you guys kind of feel like it was a drubbing from the get-go, and I think the scoreboard reflected that. However, if you look at SofaScore, we had more passes, we won more duels, we had more big chances, we had more shots on net, we had more of everything except for goals on the board. So, for me, in my soccer expertise, it comes down to defensive laziness and or putting in players, as Carl said, who aren't fit. I think you could summarize the whole match in one play. It was the last touch of the game. Jordan went to launch the ball upfield, and it smacked Michael Keane right in the face. And we kind of looked like that on every single fucking goal. And the acute theme was Brentford player sneaks in behind Everton defense on every goal. Every goal. Thiago on the first goal. Collins comes rushing in unmarked in the box on that corner kick, unmarked. Jumps over 2 6'5" guys, one of them in Keane and the other one in Tarkovsky. I think maybe Tarky's 6'3", but still, he's not short. Unmarked, off his head, in the net. Pickford doesn't even move. then it's the same for all of them. They know that the guy's got wheels. They know that the guy's hungry, and they let him run right past him anyway. Um, on our end, as far as scoring, I'm pretty made up for Beto and Barry because they both got goals and they both needed their confidence boosted. I think for Barry now, it's starting to come a little more often and a little easier. He's getting those chances, and I like that. And I want to touch on those two guys real quick. Consummate professionals, and I'll tell you why. The game was in the bag, and a lot of young players would have scored their goals and went over to do their LeBron stomp or their arrow shooting celebration. Both of those guys ran straight back to the center circle, ready to start the play to make the most of the minutes that we had. So, feather in their hat. I thought that was very professional on their part. Now, the game was out of hand, so there wasn't much we were going to do, but they didn't let that stop them from being professional and trying to put the team ahead of their individual accomplishments. I thought Thiago was a great player, but man, when he tried to hug Beto after his goal was confirmed, I thought Beto should have punched him in the mouth. You know, don't bring our guys into your fucking shenanigans. You scored a goal, okay. Let's go. Leave our players on. And he was kind of disturbing the shit all game long, but in kind of a cheeky way, not like a dirty player kind of way, but he was trying to goad Beto and he was trying to goad Tarkovsky a couple times. So I didn't care for that, but I mean, hats off to Brentford. They played a better team and fought for 3 hard road points, and they got them. So, on to Wolves, I believe. Now we seem to have fallen in this Everton mode where we're Everton everything, and by that I mean if we lose to Arsenal, at the moment, okay, that doesn't sting so bad, or any of the top 4 or 5 clubs, it doesn't hurt so bad. But I mean, dropping points against teams that we historically get at least 1 point from, especially in at home, uh, that stings. So we need to get 3 points against Wolves. We don't have a choice. I think we're sitting in 12th place now.
Yeah, all good points, mate. I am I don't know whether I'm pissed off or I don't know whether I'm just shell shocked. Before going to the break, just touching on your point there about the kid Thiago and the running over to hug Beto after his goal. I'd love to have seen that back in the mid-90s and him to try that with Duncan Ferguson. He'd have still been in hospital now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and not only that, I would say back in the 90s, if you did that playing for the right manager, he might fucking give you a bollocking,
Yeah. Okay. That was the first half. Let's go to our amazing sponsors, Andy's Fan Club. Life is hard, and we all have bad days. There are times when we feel we can't cope. This is the time we need to reach out and talk to someone. Andy's Fan Club offers local support groups nationwide, running every Monday from 7 p.m, except on bank holidays. In these groups, men can open up about the issues affecting their lives in a safe, non-judgmental environment. Our clubs are designed to be free of pressure. There is no obligation for men to speak, they can simply listen if they wish. Find us today at www.andysmanclub.co.uk. Help one guy, save one life. Andy's Man Club, it's good to talk. Okay, Blues, welcome back. That was a word from our amazing sponsors, Andy's Man Club. Remember, boys, it's good to talk. Please, 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 don't keep it to yourself. Okay, so the second half. The boys had touched on it before. 2 substitutions were made at half-time. Beto for Dibbling and Merlin Roll for McNeil. Positive start again for a couple of minutes. Decent early pressure. And sure enough, 5 minutes in, goal for Brentford. Ball comes in from a corner. There's Collins, jumps up, unchallenged. Easy header, 2-0. Less than 2 minutes later, goes from bad to worse. Brentford grab another one. The ball gets played through the defence. Thiago runs onto it and he just taps it past Pickford. 3-0, that point, game over. 10 minutes later, 61 minutes, Everton get a chance. A brilliant save from the keeper. He denies Tarkovsky with a headed effort at goal. 65 minutes, Everton pull one back. Normally I'm excited to report on Everton goals, but it was kind of pointless. But it was nice to see Beto. Jack Grealish crossed the ball. Beto headed it in. Nice little bit of footwork from Grealish before putting the ball up. And nice finish from Beto. 76 minutes, Harrison Armstrong comes on for Tim Irabunum in a cameo appearance for 15 minutes. A couple of minutes from the end, 4-1 to Brentford. We get hit on the break. The ball gets played out from like their area. Thiago's in his own half. He just races into the Everton half, unchallenged, and he just slots it past Pickford. By this stage, I want to just throw the fucking telly through the window, to be fair. Last minute, Everton get a consolation. Little jinky run from Jack Grealish in the area. He puts it up to the far post, and there's Thierry Barry to head home. 4-2. Too little, too late. But again, lovely for Barry. I think that's 2 goals in 3 games now. But the game had gone realistically at 3-0. Absolute bollocks, Everton. You bottled it. You done an Arsenal. We'd have won. We'd have went into the top 6. We move on. Full time. Everton 2. Brentford 4. Marco, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, you guys know that over the summer I was really big on Merlin Rule and I've been really big on Tyler Dibbling just because I think we paid £42 million sterling, just for the rights to pay him, and I've wanted to see him play. But that long running goal by Thiago, that came off of Merlin Rule's foot. It was a pass right to, I don't know if it was Collins or Yarmulke or whatever that guy's name is, but he's the one that headed it up. Point being, the 2 young guys there and Irabunum, all those guys played like they were hungover. I thought that Irabunum could have been replaced by someone who's been playing as well as Harrison Armstrong a whole lot sooner, especially considering that the game is in the bag. What are the odds that you're going to come back from 3-0 with 40 minutes to go? We could have done a better job of at least getting the younger players minutes so that the bench isn't so thin. I thought Jackie's assist to Beto was fantastic. I thought his assist to Barry was fantastic as well. Ball ended up behind him a little bit. He kept it with him and then put a nice little lob right to the far post, and Barry stuck it in. I'd like to see Beto and Jack both go for goal further out more often. It seems like they both try to get in a little tighter and then make a play that just can't be made anymore. And yesterday we got a good look at Beto's leg. That one shot he took from the top of the box was well over the bar, but man, he's got like a Lukaku kind of leg on him. If that thing's on goal and you're at least forcing the goalie to dive and make a save, who knows what can happen. Jack gets time and space headed towards the goal, but it's like he doesn't want to put it on goal with his left foot. He always tries to drag it in so that he can put a flick on, with the right foot, and I think it costs him time and space. But I'm not Jack Grealish, and he left the game yesterday with 2 points on the only 2 goals that we had, so I can't criticize him too much. From a team perspective, I would like to see more shots on goal from further away. And yeah, we need to beef up the bench. I don't know who we need to tell, if it's management or if it's ownership, that they need to open up the fucking checkbook and start thickening up. Yeah, we're not a selling club anymore. We didn't build a new stadium that costs whatever billion pound. We didn't, almost get sent into administration and have a 4-year, 3-year relegation battle so that we can just kind of Crystal Palace our way along and, call it being in the Premiership a win. That's not a win for Everton Football Club. A win for Everton Football Club is top 4 European play. We need to get back to that. That makes us a buying club. Otherwise, Texter or Friedkin can fuck off. we're a buying club. That's the way it needs to be, and we just seem to be hanging out barely again with bargain basement pieces. It really shows how thin our bench is with the injuries that we have, and the AFCON as well. But really, it shouldn't be hitting us this hard. It's not hitting anybody else this hard. I don't have much positive to say. 4-2 result, fortunately.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Carl, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, second half, mate, as you say, apart from the first few minutes of the second half, absolute shit show, double substitution at half time, Merlin Roll coming on and Beto coming on for Tyler Diblin and McNeil. McNeil was ineffective from start to finish. You wouldn't have known. We started basically with 10 men. The fact that he was on. I don't blame Diblin so much because he's not, as I said earlier on, he's not getting the support from his right back because Jake O'Brien isn't a right back, and as we all know, and we keep saying, as regards to signings and getting players in, I believe there is plenty of money there to spend. If we want it, it's down to Moyes and the team or the recruitment team to find the right players, allegedly. I mean, we're linked with left backs, right backs, midfielders all the time, but nothing seems to come of it. But now, with our bench so short, we can't wait for the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall to get fit, and Brantwaite to get fit, and Garner, and Njai to come back from the AFCON. That's another fortnight away, the AFCON finishing. So, where will we be in another couple of weeks yet? We've got an FA Cup game on Saturday, but then we play Villa and then Leeds. Not easy games coming up. So we need to start getting these players in, bedded in, so we can get them played. When Harrison Armstrong came on, I think he made a big difference. I think I seen a stat earlier on saying he completed 100% of his passes. I know he's only on for like 15 minutes, as you say, but he was really, really good. And maybe he should start in the game on Wednesday against Wolves, because I don't see him, I see him being a decent player for us. And if we do get all our players back and get new players for the end of the month, then he can go back on loan to Preston for the end of the season. Because I think he'd said at Moyes ideally wants to send him back because he wants Preston to get promoted. So whether that was just tongue in cheek or what, I don't know, but absolute shit show. Hats off to Jack Grealish again, 2 assists, and in any other game, if we'd have won, he'd have had all the plaudits again to us, another 2 assists to his name. That must be 7 or 8 now, if not more, for the season already. Better nice to see him get a goal, and brilliant, made up for TNTN Barry to get his goal right at the end. They know it was 4-2, but as you say, he didn't celebrate. So he just went back to the halfway and he wanted to carry on. I mean, that's 3 and 6 for him now. So what a 1 and 2 ratio. So he's coming together. He's getting used to the Premier League. And some players it takes 6 months. Some players it takes a whole season. But I don't think people should be too harsh on him. He's by far our best centre forward that we've got in the club. And then another thing that just made me smile after the game, after the crap results, I turned over and looked at Rangers, and Chimothy had scored 2. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? And it was a derby, and he's fucking shouting, and Chimothy scored 2. I was like, nah, there's something going wrong here. But shit show.
Yeah, like Mark says all the time, Everton, aren't we? So, yeah, a couple of final thoughts. And interestingly, there was a stat that said we've lost 7 out of 8 of our opening games of every new year, which is interesting. Productive cameo from Harrison Armstrong. Nice to see the kid come back home. But like Carl said there, he is going back to Preston in a couple of weeks. I'm just going to summarise it really easy. Outplayed, outclassed, and outgunned. No arguments. We got what we deserved. We were shit. Next up is Wolves on Wednesday at the Dixie. Marco, thank you for dropping on, mate, and giving us your opinions.
Yeah, fellas, thanks for having me. I wish I was here to revel in our success, but we are Everton, and so on to the next match. Again, it was lovely meeting the Tampa Toffees, and I expect that I'll be spending more matches with those guys in the future dates, and so they'll be tuning in. I'm gonna let them know that they got an honorable mention here today, and so they're a solid following, and they have an official supporters status. So it was fun meeting those guys.
Yeah, big hello and welcome to the Tampa Toffees. Any friend of Marco's is a friend of ours. Talking of which, Carl, thanks for dropping on, mate. Really appreciate that after such a shit show.
I'm gonna say, yeah, it's like pity wasn't under decent circumstances. Everton seem to do this though. It's an Everton thing, isn't it? When they need to win these games to go, to push on, get into the top four, top six, whatever it is, they always lose them. So I'm praying that they don't lose it on Wednesday, because results haven't been as bad as they could have been. With like Liverpool only getting a last minute draw and this, that, and the other. There's been a lot of draws over the last week or so. So it could have been a lot worse, and we could have been 14th, 15th in the table. It's not that far difference between the lot. So we need to win on Wednesday, 100%. But I am looking forward to watching the game tomorrow. Is it Wolves against West Ham against Forest? That's a big one. So I'm going to tune in and watch that, because I think that'll be a really humdinger.
I've had enough of football after the weekend, so I'm going to skip that one tomorrow, and I shall catch the Everton Wolves game on Wednesday. All right, guys, we'll be back after that one. Up the fucking Toffees.